Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. The courtroom atmosphere was charged with tension as news broke that actor Scott Wolf had been summoned into an emergency hearing, where a judge issued an unexpected order concerning his estranged wife, Kelly Wolf. What unfolded inside those walls has since become the subject of whispers, debate, and fascination among those following the couple's personal and legal struggles. This wasn't just another routine hearing. It was a moment that forced both Scott and Kelly to confront issues that had been simmering beneath the surface, while the public caught a rare glimpse into the private reality behind the carefully constructed images of fame and family. Reports from inside the hearing suggest the judge didn't mince words. The urgency of the situation called for immediate action, and Scott found himself facing a directive that required him to extend support to Kelly in ways that went far beyond financial obligations or legal formalities. Instead, the ruling spoke to something deeper, a mandate to step up, to demonstrate responsibility, and to play a part in easing the challenges his estranged wife was navigating. Observers noted how Scott listened intently as the order was laid out, his face betraying a mix of surprise, seriousness, and perhaps even a quiet sense of reckoning. Kelly, meanwhile, appeared visibly affected by the outcome. Those who know her well have described her as resilient and strong-willed, but even she couldn't mask the weight of what this order represented. It wasn't just about winning or losing in a legal sense. It was about being seen, heard, and acknowledged during a time of strain. For Kelly, the court's intervention validated the struggles she's been facing and underscored the fact that she could not be expected to shoulder everything on her own. The details that emerged highlighted the layers of complexity in their relationship. Scott Wolf, known to audiences as a polished and charismatic performer, was suddenly placed in a position where real-life responsibilities outweighed any celebrity sheen. The ruling reminded everyone that fame doesn't shield anyone from the obligations of family or the scrutiny of the law. The judge's words served as a reminder that when personal disputes escalate to the level of emergency hearings, what's at stake goes beyond headlines or reputations. It touches on core values like accountability, empathy, and fairness. Those in attendance described the scene as both sobering and eye-opening. The courtroom wasn't filled with theatrics or dramatic outbursts. Instead, it carried an air of solemnity, as though everyone understood the gravity of what was taking place. The order for Scott to assist Kelly was not handed down casually. It came after reviewing evidence, considering urgent circumstances, and weighing the balance of responsibility between two people whose lives remain intertwined despite separation. It was a decision rooted in the idea that one partner cannot simply walk away from shared obligations when the other is in crisis. In the aftermath, discussions erupted among friends, fans, and legal analysts alike. Some saw the ruling as a fair and necessary step to ensure Kelly received the help she urgently needed. Others speculated on how Scott might adapt to the judge's expectations, questioning whether his compliance would be wholehearted or reluctant. But beyond speculation, one fact remained clear. The court had spoken, and the directive was now binding. Scott would have to take active steps, not just symbolic gestures, to fulfill the order and show that he was willing to participate in resolving the challenges ahead. This decision sheds light on a broader truth about relationships that end but never fully dissolve. Even when love fades or distance grows, shared responsibilities linger. The court's ruling essentially reinforced that estrangement doesn't erase accountability. For Scott, it was a stark reminder that stepping back from a partnership does not mean stepping away from all duties, especially when urgent matters arise that impact the well-being of the other party. Observers couldn't help but notice the way Scott carried himself as he exited the courtroom. Gone was the effortless charm of a television star. In its place stood a man visibly processing the weight of what had just occurred. Kelly, too, appeared contemplative, aware that the ruling might bring her relief, but also uncertain about how the practicalities would play out. The emotional currents between them were impossible to ignore. Though estranged, they were still bound by history, by family ties, and now, by the legal order compelling them to cooperate during a time of need. Behind the headlines lies a story that touches on universal themes: responsibility, compassion, and the difficult balancing act of personal independence against shared commitments. For Kelly, the judge's decision was more than a legal victory. It was a recognition that her struggles were real and that support was not optional. For Scott, it was a turning point that asked him to demonstrate what kind of partner and person he was willing to be when the spotlight faded and the stakes became personal. The ripple effects of this hearing are likely to extend far beyond the courtroom. Friends of the couple may find themselves reevaluating where they stand, whether to rally behind Kelly in her time of need or to encourage Scott as he takes on responsibilities that could reshape the way others see him. Fans, meanwhile, are left grappling with the contradiction between Scott's public persona and the private reality now exposed by the court's ruling. Can a man celebrated for his charm and professionalism also rise to the occasion when called upon to provide genuine support to someone from whom he is estranged? That is the question that lingers in the minds of many. The hearing also brought attention to the role judges play in moments like this. It's not easy to issue orders that cut to the heart of personal relationships. Yet, in this case, the judge acted decisively, prioritizing fairness and urgency over hesitation. By doing so, the court underscored a principle often overlooked. When two people are connected by marriage or its aftermath, neither can fully ignore the other's circumstances when those circumstances reach a crisis point. It's a principle that may resonate with countless others navigating separation or divorce, serving as a reminder that legal endings don't always mean emotional or practical endings. As for Scott and Kelly, their path forward remains uncertain. Compliance with the judge's order will require more than paperwork or formalities. It will demand action, cooperation, and perhaps uncomfortable conversations. How Scott chooses to fulfill his obligations will reveal much about his character and his willingness to rise to the moment. For Kelly, the challenge will be to accept the help ordered by the court while continuing to maintain her independence and strength. Their journey from here will not be easy, but it will be telling. In many ways, this hearing peeled back the curtain on the human side of celebrity. Beyond the polished interviews and carefully managed appearances lies the same complexity, conflict, and vulnerability that everyday people face. The difference is that when someone like Scott Wolf is involved, those struggles play out on a public stage, magnified by headlines and debated by audiences who know him primarily through his work. The court's ruling brought that reality into sharp focus, reminding everyone that fame does not grant immunity from life's hardest challenges. In the weeks ahead, attention will turn to how both Scott and Kelly navigate this new chapter. Will Scott embrace the responsibility with grace, setting aside resentment to provide the assistance Kelly needs? Or will tensions escalate further, leading to more legal entanglements and public scrutiny? The answers remain to be seen, but one thing is certain. The emergency hearing has set in motion a chain of events that neither party can ignore. Their choices now will define not only their legal standing but also their legacy as individuals who once shared a life together. At the heart of this unfolding story is a reminder of what it means to be accountable, even when relationships change. The judge's ruling asked Scott to rise to the occasion, to prove that compassion and responsibility are not just words but actions. For Kelly, it was an acknowledgement that she deserved support during a time of need, even if that support came from someone she is no longer close to. Together, their situation illustrates the enduring ties that bind people long after love fades and the spotlight moves on. The outcome of this emergency hearing will be felt for months, perhaps years, to come. For Scott, it could mark a turning point in how he is perceived not just as an actor, but as a man navigating the complexities of life off-screen. For Kelly, it offers the possibility of relief, validation, and the support she has long deserved. And for those watching from the outside, it serves as a compelling reminder that every story has layers, every relationship has echoes, and every decision made in a courtroom can change the course of lives in ways both profound and lasting. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.